I like this.
I like it too.
Puts me in a holiday mood.
I like that a lot.
Puts me in a holiday mood, boy, I'll tell you what. I wonder if Magic's playing that down the hall. They should be working in some of these mashups, right? All I Want for Christmas is the Beautiful People. Work that into a mashup.
This is what those kids in that video should be dancing to at AlanCoxShow.com.
Oh, yeah. Those goth kids.
The goth kids dancing, yeah.
There you go. The Christie's Instagram hotties are up there as well.
Did you see these girls having a hard time getting their pants on, Alan?
I haven't.
I feel terrible for them.
I haven't checked, but I'll tell you what. People underestimate how difficult getting one's pants on can be, specifically if you are a gal of, let's say, bodacious carriage back there. You know, these girls are trying. Wow. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. How often do girls like rip their pants because they're so damn tight?
Dude, there's actually a picture of me. I'll find it and I'll put it on my story at Mary Santora Comedy. You remember this, Bill? It was at one of the crowd work shows. I had one pair of jeans that fit me when I was fat, and I wore them. And then I wore them because I didn't want to buy another pair, and I was like, whatever. But it started with just a little rip on the belt loop from tugging so much, and it got to the point where I ripped it so bad one time I could fit my whole hand.
Yeah, she had a butt cheek out, basically.
What'd you say?
You basically had a butt cheek hanging out.
Yeah, it was probably 5 inches long, like a rip in my pants, and then I've had that happen.
I got it.
Oh my God.
I think
I worked my exit.
I think it's so
Whatever.
funny when I see that, like when I see some of my girlfriends walk around and they have like tight pants and they have like their phone sticking out. I'm like, oh my gosh, it looks like a snake just ate a mouse. Like that's how tight the phone is.
Dude, for real. Or like when your pants are really tight, where your legs touch, where your thighs rub together, it'll start to wear away.
How do you guys not chafe? Or
well,
like you guys don't?
It won't chafe, but where it'll start to be like two little rips.
You don't get athlete's
that
vagina
happen
or anything?
No athlete's vagina.
You got to hold some
athlete's
toilet
in
paper
there.
back there, start a campfire or whatever.
Right? But so that'll start to rip, and I've had times where like, because sometimes when you got to put your jeans on, if they're really tight, you have to do like a jiggle dance, and you'll like kind of lunge a little bit, and I've had that little rubbing rip. What am I trying to say? What word am I trying to say? Like it wears away
Friction?
from rubbing. Yeah, it's friction, but like
Where?
Stress.
it's like basically like in
stressing
between
your
your thighs
jeans,
where I've like pulled and done the little lunge and it's ripped all the way up my crotch before. Like I've had that happen.
You do that straight leg thing.
Because
where
you're trying to pull
Yeah.
it up and then it's just like up
I
your whole
understand.
crotch.
All right, up your whole crotch.
I love watching the numbers. 'cause
Up
we have
yours.
the board out there we have that shows everybody's blogs and everything. And
Parsley.
I'll keep that pulled up on my computer during the show. And then when we mention something, I see how responsive it is. And when it's the Christie's Instagram hotties at AlanCoxShow.com, we mention that, and Alan gives a reaction like he did to the girl trying to pull her pants
wow,
up.
okay.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Is it just
The numbers just fly right
The world
up.
is
Yeah.
data, baby. It's
Yeah.
all data.
So thank you for that. That looks good for us.
I told Bill, I said, I can't figure out why I'm in such a good mood today or why I feel so on and attentive. And I can't tell if it's because I found the right amount of coffee, which is 2 cups of coffee after I've already eaten, or because it's
you
70.
figured out the formula.
I think that might be it because I felt really good all day. Or that it's 75 degrees in here and I'm not freezing cold. I
terrible.
am so
It's
comfortable.
I
awful.
don't like it. I feel like
I
I'm
am
awful.
so comfortable. I'm like
You have a wool
jiving-
sweater on and it's
I have on
75 degrees.
socks and
She's
boots.
like, I'm so comfortable.
I am like, because he was like, it's so hot in here. I was like,
Bill and I
this
are in
is
here taking a schwitz.
perfect.
Yeah.
You can't have a frown on your face if you're sliding down a fireman's pole.
That's why
This
she's
is
so
the
happy.
perfect temperature in here today.
No, it's really not.
It is.
No, for you. But you're already outnumbered by the two of us. And yet, we still defer.
Well, thank you.
Because we're nice.
Because I wear the.
It's jumped like
I
5
wear the
degrees since
blanket
the
a
show
lot.
started. When we got in here, it was like 70 degrees, and now it's 75. So.
Because I'm bringing that
All
straight
your
fire,
cheery
Bill.
disposition is bringing
straight fire.
heat in here, and I don't like it.
I will have, for people who are asking, I will have Chris McQuanzica. What is Chris McQuanzica, Bill?
Oh, Chris McQuanzica is a celebration of nothing.
and everything at the same time.
And everything, yes. Nothing and everything. And it's a great comedy show that I put on last year, and they wanted to do it again. We got Bud Light on board. We were giving tickets away this weekend at Dina's. Had a great turnout to that. And then it's me, Mary Santora, Cody Cooper, Curtis Cook, Sarah Volpio, Liz Blanc, Wanda Mayfield, who should be stopping by in a little bit to help me record a commercial.
Oh.
And who else we got? Martin Malloy.
Okay.
and some other special guests and surprises. It's going to be a good time.
That's the kind of show where you go for the people you know, and then you are
You leave with a new
mesmerized
favorite,
by
yeah.
the people that you didn't know before.
Yeah. You might leave with a new favorite.
There you go.
All very, very funny comics. It's going to be great. And Mary and Cody Cooper are participating in something called Stand and Deliver, which is a joke writing contest. And they're both very, very good at it, and they get very nervous about it. And that's my
Cody and
favorite
I get
part.
very worked up.
You get
about
very
it.
worked up about it, but then you guys also deliver really great jokes. Like, you guys have done it, I don't know, 3 or 4 times? Against each
Not
other?
against each other. Like
Yeah, I know
think
you've done it
twice.
once against each other, and when you did it against each other, it's one of the best ones we ever did.
Yeah.
At Hilarities.
Yeah.
So.
It's just because we both care.
Yeah.
We want to be funny and we want to do well.
But
But
you're
it's,
also both really good joke writers,
Yeah,
too.
it's gonna
and
be
you get
good.
the format of it. You're not trying to tell, like, a long story.
No, these
you're
are
trying to hit, like,
usually
bam,
one-liners.
bam, set a punch.
I'm being told that phenomenon, by the way, is called chub rub.
Chub rub. I've never heard that.
And I like that.
But
When
it's
your
a
clothes
very,
wear away because you got no thigh gap.
It's a very common thing for a lot of women. Is that it's like about probably an inch or two right below your vagina, right there. Your thighs rub together. And then
Fattest
that's-
Bill had that problem.
Fat Bill had that?
Yeah,
Okay.
like Fattest Bill.
Oh,
Fat Bill doesn't as much.
You had vagina problems?
I had
Chub rub.
Chub rub.
Chub rub.
and if you go to my Instagram story, I posted the picture of how that big rip in my pants and how big I let it go.
When you grab it, you'll feel how firm it is. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. President, with impeachment looming, is out there trying to pretend like he's working hard. And boy, he had a lot of strange meetings this weekend. After the story went out about the particular bronzer that he uses on his face, and that company sold out of that hue. I assume these are like gag gifts for stocking stuffers or something.
No, whatever. He's creating jobs. More people.
Well,
More
no, the company
demand.
existed before he started using it. I'm just curious why anyone would want to replicate that look.
I think a lot of joke gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he did mention that
Bronze elephant jokes.
environmental light bulbs are really bad because they make you look orange. He was having a problem with the light bulbs. He said people flush their toilets 20 times.
The
I heard
toilet
that.
thing.
The
There's a lot of
toilet
weird
thing.
things this weekend.
The toilet thing is one of the most telling things about his diet we've ever heard.
Oh, right.
Where Americans like, yeah,
Flush it
sometimes you gotta
25
flush
times
it
a day.
10, 15 times. I mean, it's just
You
it
know
won't
what,
go
though?
down. You get those floaters, and you can't get them to go down. So I keep on flushing until they go on down, but they don't really go down.
I've thought about this because I pee a lot. I drink a lot of water, so I pee a lot. Where I have friends who are very environmentally conscious who don't flush their pee. They say, if it's yellow,
Oh,
let it mellow.
Yeah.
But I don't want my house to smell like pee.
If it's brown, shut it down.
Flush it
What if
down.
it's
please.
green?
Whatever.
If it's green, go see a doctor. If
Yeah,
it's green,
sometimes-
if
if
green,
it's-
check your peen.
If it's green,
No,
don't
not
be
the pee,
mean.
the poo.
No, the pee.
Oh, I'm talking about the pee.
Yeah.
But I'm afraid to let it all sit there because I don't want my house to smell like pee.
And plus, you'll get a little ring around your toilet or something.
Yeah, but it won't smell like pee if you keep the lid down. I mean, and by the way, I mean it's not going to sit in there for a week.
Right. They say like for the night.
day.
Until
Yeah.
until you hit.
I mean, I want to
brown
be a good
spot.
guy too, but there's nothing more annoying than one of those low flow toilets.
I have
man.
one of those.
Oh my God!
No,
You're
no,
like,
no.
oh,
There's,
okay.
like, no
High
water
rises
in
have
it.
them. I was curious if
Yeah, mine
Squifle
are
Tower
kinda
had
that
low
way,
flow.
Yeah, and I don't.
Yeah, once you're up on like when I lived in the high rise many years ago, I was on the 19th floor, and goddamn, do we have low flow toilets? I'm like, not like I really had some cables I had to push down there, but I mean, in the instance in which that might happen.
Mine, you have to like really, even just to pee, you have to hold down the thing for a little while in order to get it.
Yeah, I think that's just good standard operating procedure.
Well, that's underground situation
general.
as well.
You'd think it's closer to the water though, but I don't know.
You ever sit backwards on the toilet just so you could take a nap?
No.
Okay.
I prefer
Read
to
a
do
book.
that in my bed, which is much more comfortable, and I can be horizontal
But
in
sometimes
it.
you're just really, really tired, and you're like, I really have to.
Too
pee or
tired to
poop.
walk from the bedroom to the bathroom.
No, you get up and walk, but then
Yeah.
once you're like, I just feel like sitting. I want a warm. If you have a heated toilet seat, you just
Mm-hmm.
sit down, and then you rest your head on the back of the toilet, and you're just like, I'm just gonna
Now,
sit
how
here.
long you rest your head on that dude's torsos book, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
and how long do you take a nap? Is it just a power nap?
Well, if you're pooping already, I'm gonna take like a 20-minute.
So you're already gonna. Okay, so you're doing it because you know you're already going to be there for 30 minutes.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Most people they would just go, get back in bed.
As someone who's slept on multiple toilets, I usually do the forward fold. Is what.
But you sitting on toilets, passed out, clothed, right?
Correct.
Not with your pants around your
well,
ankles.
I would like go to pee
Well, my
and then
pants
be
are
so
completely
drunk
off.
I'd fall asleep.
Oh, you
I've-
never fell forward, top heavy, fell forward onto the floor.
I've had that. I'm sure I've had that happen. I've woken up with a bump or two on my forehead before. But that was like a go-to. If I was at a bar and super drunk and you couldn't find me, I was probably asleep on the toilet. That was a normal thing for me.
Well, then you've got a name for your autobiography.
Asleep on the toilet.
We have a situation where we're looking very strongly at sinks and showers and other elements of bathrooms where you turn the faucet on in areas where there's tremendous amounts of water, where the water rushes out to sea because you could never handle it, and you don't get any water. You turn on the faucet, you don't get any water. They take a shower and water comes.
It is fun to hear him pretend to sound smart.
Oh, it's great.
Water.
Dripping out, just dripping out.
That might be a Philly holdover. He went to Wharton, didn't he?
Water.
Very quietly dripping out. People are flushing toilets 10 times, 15 times, as opposed to once. They end up using more water.
Water.
So EPA is looking at that very strongly, at my suggestion. You go in.
Guys, can you look into the toilet flushing 15 times? What's going on here? I'm hearing things. People are flushing 10 times, 15. You know how long it would take you to flush 15 times?
Yeah, you're taking those Big Mac dumps.
You got
take a while to get them down. Yeah,
Yeah, you know
You got to flush.
Mm-hmm.
You got to wait for the water to come back and your tank to kind of reset. Then you'd have to flush it again. Water goes down. We got to wait for it to refill the tank. Water comes up. 10 or 15 times.
You think you flush a toilet 10 times a day?
No.
No, he's
no
saying
one
in one
does.
sitting.
Oh, in one sitting. Why did I'm hearing this all wrong.
Went to a new building or a new house or a new home, and they have standards on where you don't get water. You can't wash your hands practically. There's so little water comes out of the faucet. And the end result is you leave the faucet on, and it takes you much longer to wash your hands. You end up using.
And then you have other parts of the country where the water that does come out of your faucet is flammable. So, it's
I didn't think we
what
had
a
sticky
balance we have.
situation,
It's a
yeah.
very, very sticky situation.
I didn't know we had a water pressure problem in America.
We don't have a water pressure problem in America.
I was just thinking, like, maybe Trump. Isn't Trump
I
contradicting
see.
himself?
Yeah.
wettest we've ever seen from the standpoint of water.
Right, thank you.
He
Water.
just contradicts himself. I just don't understand.
Apparently, we also have, and I would think that, pro-choice and pro-life people, well, anti-choice, you can't really call them pro-life, but pro-choice and anti-choice people, you'd think that maybe this would split them down the middle as well, that he's concerned about live full-term births. Did you know that some women were having births at full term? Were you aware of this?
I didn't know that was even
I guess
an
this
option.
is, according to the president, this is a huge public health emergency.
Women.
Women are having full-term births.
You mean like when they're supposed to?
Yep.
Right now, in a number of states, the laws allow a baby to be born from his or her mother's womb in the 9th month. It is wrong. It has to change.
I'm curious why he specified.
I did not hear this
Why
at
he
all.
specified by gender, from
His
his
or
or
her.
her mother's womb. Like, I think baby will suffice. There are only
Yeah.
two choices. I was just curious why his brain went there, but
Why would that need to change?
Well,
When would he like it to come out?
I don't know. But apparently, we're having an issue with full-term births in this country, and it's something that needs to be.
Full-term birth.
Again, I don't know.
I can't
Full-term
even
births.
say that. Full-term birth.
If full-term births are federally funded, I'm sure there are going to be some people arguing about that.
Maybe he's in a
Ironically.
baby pool and he's taking like preemie type predictions. He's like, I'm losing my ass in this birthing pool because everyone's being birthed on time. I'm taking 8 months trying to get to an outlier
Maybe.
with the good odds.
Full-term births is opening for vacuum vagina.
Can you believe it? Babies are being born in the 9th month? How barbaric is
And
our
it's
society?
actually-
And it's a
listen,
problem.
Between the 9th and 10th month, because it's 40 weeks.
40
but-
weeks is
yeah.
full term,
So that's
technically.
I think I was.
maybe he is concerned about preemies. If he's like the 9th month, it's too early.
I want them to stay in there and cook
36
as
weeks.
long as
Trump
they
was
can
baked.
possibly cook.
Trump was in there for 11 months.
Came out looking like that.
Yeah.
Little orange baby,
the
orange hued
environmental
baby.
lights.
He was getting tan before he was even out. He was baked.
Well, sometimes they had to cut me out of my mom. Sometimes they got to cut you out.
I was
Oh,
cut
that's right.
out.
You were never born. You were never born.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing to say.
They were removed.
They were never vaginally born.
No, they're not born.
Stomachally born.
You don't go
I
out,
take
you don't pass through the gates, you don't count.
I take birth to. That's going to get me out of a lot of quandaries, by the way, if that's legally
Yeah.
true.
That's a straight up like platinum gay. Like I've never even came out of my mom. So,
Yeah.
like I've never even. Yeah.
I think that it's. I take birth to mean being removed from another human. However, you got to get me out. Just get me out.
Birth me.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
So, like,
technically,
you,
you didn't
like-
pass through the canal, then you don't.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I think so, because, I mean...
That means me and
you're a
all my
C-section
siblings.
baby.
You weren't birthed. You were removed.
I was
It's like a
removed
tumor.
from my mother.
You don't
Oh,
birth a tumor when you remove it, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
I birthed lung cancer right now.
Well, I was coming out
So
the
me
wrong
and my
way.
siblings were all tumors in my mom's body
I
that
was laboring out.
were
that
cut
tumor.
out
Yeah.
in the 9th month.
The old Joey Gladstone cut it out.
I was coming out like a slide, so they had to C-section me.
Feet first.
Yeah. I was like, wee.
Breech.
Yeah, me too.
How
My
did
mom started
mom-
bleeding, so
It-
they're like, "You got to get here immediately."
I was
and
gonna
we
say,
gotta
is
get
that
this kid out?
Is that impossible? Like, are you able to have a kid feet first?
Yeah, I have plenty of breech babies
Yeah.
that are born.
Okay.
It's,
It's
just
just you-
not as safe.
Well, and the doctors got to get in there like elbow deep.
Because they got to
and-
get in and, like, help
Twist 'em.
your head come
Yeah.
out and stuff. Because it's like, if you can't really pull on your leg. You're not formed yet.
Yeah.
You can't really pull on your legs and stuff. And then your neck gets all stuck
You
up
gotta
there.
reach in there. Oh my god.
Like a horse.
Oh
Well,
my
they
God.
try to turn them first, and if
Yeah.
they can't
Yeah.
do that, then they go, "All right, we're gonna cut them out."
What if I'm stuck in there? Like, what if I'm stuck in between the stomach and like the birth canal?
They can pull you out the top, right?
Through the throat, sure.
Through
They
the
can
throat.
come right out the
I
throat.
meant like if your
Yeah.
legs are coming out, they can pull your shoulders out of the
I
uterus
just imagine
through
my
your stomach.
I imagine my feet dangling, and I'm just screaming, "Get me out of here! It's hot!"
Yeah, but you can't hear you, so you're like, oh, it smells weird.
My feet are just going.
I'm just a baby and I already don't like the smell.
I have all kinds of crazy things I can do to get you out.
Is that a rotisserie chicken?
Is that a Walmart chicken?
Rotisserie chicken? What? How did it go to rotisserie
I think
chicken?
his mom was eating one, maybe.
Was your
during
mom
the
eating
birthing
a lot of
process?
women get ice chips. Poundcake's mom got rotisserie chicken
She's
strips.
eating the skin like
Yeah.
ice chips.
It was
She's
stuck in
sucking
there.
on it.
I'll pass this along to my baby. He was wrapped in a blanket of the skin that had been removed from a rotisserie chicken.
It's gross, but it's
Swaddled.
so tasty.
Oh,
It's so good.
here's my salty little caramel-colored baby.
Swaddle a baby in chicken skin.
Yeah, Poundcake, my little chicken skin nugget. So they turned you or no? They had cut. You were C-section.
I was C-section.
Yeah.
They tried to turn me, but I was hard-headed. So that's why.
He, hard-headed.
Well, I just wasn't listening to the doctor.
Yeah,
Well,
well, you
you
were a
probably
baby and
didn't.
didn't understand
Yeah.
English, so that's probably part of it.
What if he was just shouting up there, turn around?
No.
You got to turn around.
Go out there.
Mrs. Brown, it's clear that this infant doesn't understand what I'm trying to tell him, all right? If he is always going to be as much of a pain in the ass, now he'll be good. Promise.
That's my mom or that's me.
That's your mom.
Okay.
Yeah, you took after your mom.
That's how she sounds.
Yeah, your mom talks like this, you talk like this. It's just easier. I can't do Angela Bassett. All right, Chris McQuanzica is set for the 29th of this month at the world-famous Agora Theater. It's Bill Squire and Mary Santora, a lot of very funny people. So if you want to go to the show, I will get you hooked up after this break. 35192 to text, AlanCoxShow.com. You want to watch, you can do it there. Listen anywhere on iHeartRadio.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app.